Say it again, this market will be defined by an inability to source product. It's coming, it's happening in real time right now.
At least one bullion dealer is basically out of silver and not sure he can get more. I mean, you've been doing this a long time. What's your take on everything that's going on right now?
It's a surprise to me it hasn't happened before this. I mean, when you think the ingredients of, essentially free money, lots of checks getting mailed, people having time on their hands, commission-free trading, that these mini speculative activities haven't happened before is a bit of a surprise. And it's creating volatility in markets. It's making some people squeamish.
Look, ad nauseum, this is what I've been talking about for long over a year. And when I talk about supply becoming difficult to get, I'm not talking about today or even tomorrow. I'm talking about 6 months from now, because when you acquire product these days, it's a long-term endeavor. It's 90 days, 120 days. It's putting money up front. It's securing product, hedging, and running logistics. I've been talking about this. The buzz phrase I've been using is that this market will be defined by an inability to source product. Well, let's take a step back and realize for a second that we're not the only people at the party. And I think it's naive to believe that only those participating in the North American bullion acquisition game are the only participants. What you're seeing globally with inflation in the United Kingdom at the highest level it's been since World War II, 30-year highs in Germany, highs in Japan, you're seeing inflation across the globe, all over the place. You're seeing actions by governments like Trudeau, freezing bank accounts for people donating $50 on GoFundMe. You're seeing whole countries being kicked out of the SWIFT system by a weaponizing of the dollar. You have woken up globally a whole swath of investors who wouldn't know a gold and silver coin if it fell on their foot. And now they're all competing for the same small pool of product that we're trying to get, that we used to have no problem getting when you're talking about the United Kingdom or South Africa or Australia or Austria. These were items that were so easy to get. As I've said before, I used to have distributors, large distributors who would represent these sovereign mints and call me up and they'd say, listen, Andy, let me put 50,000 coins in your warehouse. And I'd say, I don't need them. I said, we don't need them. But they'd say, listen, I'll send them to you, put them in your warehouse, use them if you need them. If not, we'll pay to have it shipped out. This was commonplace. We would house large swaths of inventory that wasn't even ours in anticipation of either using it or allowing them to have it shipped out. It was great. We always had plenty of product. Those days are long gone. And getting product now, you're out into April, May, and June on any of the distributors. And so, I've been doing this for a long time, Elijah. I've been doing this since I was 19 years old in 1989, and I've seen a lot. And I often say I'm a lot more wise than I am smart. Wisdom is something that you achieve through repetition and time. And I've never had a more difficult time in 32 years acquiring product. Over that time frame, I've made a lot of friends in the industry, friends that are not part of my company. And I talk to them, and several of the distributors that I talk to are telling me that sovereign coins are just not available, period. And you're talking 5 or 6 major mints: US, Canada, Austria, Australia, South Africa, United Kingdom. They're not available. And if they are, you're buying them into May and into June. And so there's a great deal of uncertainty as a precious metals company right now, buying product from across the globe 90 to 120 days in advance, paying the highest premiums we've ever paid in our career, hedging that, and then running logistics deep into the summer, wondering what will happen. And so I'll say this and I'll say it again, this market will be defined by an inability to source product. It's coming, it's happening in real time right now, as globally we are in competition for a very finite pool of product that is being gobbled up by people across the globe, not just here in North America, and in a stark difference to what it has been in years past. So I would just simply say, where is it? It's being accumulated by people like you and I all around the globe, and it's a bidding war. So I feel sorry for small coin companies and coin shops who aren't at the top of the food chain, who don't have the ability to spend millions of dollars to hedge it, to run logistics. Hedging alone is sophisticated and dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Like, for example, what happened in the nickel market, if we're selling short 100,000 ounces because we bought 100,000 ounces and the price spikes, even though it goes up on what we have in our inventory, we get margin calls on what we sold short. It's dangerous, and you can end up really getting in trouble if you don't know what you're doing. And so the smaller and mid-sized companies who don't hedge, who don't have relationships and the ability to write checks for millions of dollars to buy product 3 months in advance, they're dead in the water. They're not going to get any product. The distributors will pass them by in favor of the 4 or 5 or 6 big companies in this industry who have the ability to do that and to make it easy on the distributors who are happy to sell it 4 months in advance or 3 months in advance to receive everything up front. And their job is then done, and they can work on allocations into the fall. That's really what's happening right now. So where is it? It's been accumulated. And when we get it in, it disappears as fast as it came in. And I don't think you've seen anything yet. I really do believe you're beginning to see a larger awakening by the mainstream into protecting what it is that they've worked so hard all these years to have obtained, Elijah. So there's no talking my book. I've been saying this for a long time, got a lot of crap for it, only because I wasn't looking at the here and now. I was looking to where we are here today. And when I say this, I'm looking to where we will be in September and October. It's getting exponentially harder every single day to continue to get product in. You have to spend way more money, expend way more time and effort. And I don't see it getting anything but more difficult, to be honest with you. People don't have to believe me. I've spoken until I'm blue in the face about this. You see it, you know it. You're as honest as anyone I've ever met. You wouldn't sit and perjure yourself here online saying you're wrong. You see it firsthand. And we're high up on the food chain. And I talk to all the major distributors. They're all facing the same problem. So yeah, there's product to be sold, and we are selling product. It doesn't mean that inventory is flush or that it makes me feel confident that it'll be easy to continue to fill inventory. Look, we run a business that did over $500 million in sales last year. So we are very high up on the food chain, and we're constantly buying product. But it has become, without question, the number one most difficult part of our business. And it's only getting tougher since I started talking this way with you and your dad over a year ago. Look, the world reserve currency is supposed to be for everyone to use, not who we choose can or can't use it. There's, I don't know, a dozen plus countries right now that have some form of sanctions against them, whether it be kicked out of the SWIFT system or some sort of dollar-based sanctions. And when you weaponize the dollar the way that we have, you are waking a lot of people up into reasons to not use the dollar. As an example, with what we've done with Russia, we're pushing them into the arms of the Chinese, who have built a system, an infrastructure. They have their CIPS system, the cross interbank payment system. They have that mirrors the SWIFT. They have their Shanghai Gold Exchange that mirrors the COMEX. They have the Chinese Petro Yuan bond, which allows for settlement outside the dollar for energy. They have the Chinese digital yuan, which is being rolled out to 75% of human population in the new Belt Road Initiative. All of this is de-dollarizing.